Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's New York City Council hearing for the Committee on General Welfare. At this time, we ask that you silence cell phones and electronic devices to minimize disruptions throughout the hearing. We thank you for your cooperation. We are ready to begin.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me now?
We're
Yes.
hearing you, Council Member.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. My apologies for not being there this morning, but I am currently in Puerto Rico. My grandmother is not doing very well, so I want to apologize because today is a really big day, and I want to recognize that. But this hearing is started. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's hearing. My name is Diana Ayala, and I am the Deputy Speaker of the New York City Council and the Chair of the General Welfare Committee. Today, our committee will be voting to override the mayor's veto of 4 bills. Introduction number Intro 878A, which I have sponsored. Intro number 893A, sponsored by Councilmember Pierina Sanchez. Intro number 894A, sponsored by Councilmember Sanchez. And intro number 229A, sponsored by Councilmember Tiffany Caban. We will also consider whether to recommend that veto messages M-0163-2023, M-0164-2023, M-0165-2023, and M-0166-2023 be filed. We heard 3 of these bills, Intro 879, 893, and 894 in January of this year, and heard Intro 229 last September. The bills all passed in our committee with unanimous vote in May, and the full council voted to pass the bills later this month with a clear veto-proof majority. This council recognizes that we are in a homeless and housing crisis. Last month, we hit a record with more than 100,000 people in our city's shelter system. These are numbers that we have never seen before. The crisis is only going to get worse if we don't do something about it. This is one of the single biggest challenges New York City has had to grapple with in recent years. Rents are through the roof, evictions are on the rise, and tens of thousands of asylum seekers are arriving at our door, people that we must embrace and welcome. When we passed these bills in May, we did so because we recognized that the expanding eligibility for CityFEP's rental assistance program was one logical step to help prevent and reduce homelessness in New York City. The program can support thousands of people to avoid being evicted, and it can also help those who are exiting homelessness to secure permanent housing. Should be noted that 78% of those who were exiting shelter in fiscal year 2022 used a CityFEP's voucher to do so. Among the bills in the package, my bill, Intro 878 ends the Giuliani era 90-day rule, an arbitrary policy that required clients to remain in the Department of Homeless Service shelter for 90 days before becoming eligible for CityFEPs. There is absolutely no reason that someone should have to wait 3 months in the shelter system before being eligible for a CityFEPs voucher. Providing a New Yorker with a voucher on the front end would reduce shelter stays, free up capacity in a system that is already overburdened, and would result in significant cost savings. We also know that there are significant economic and societal benefits when people have permanent housing and don't languish in homeless shelters. To say the least, the mayor's veto is short-sighted. We need to think in the long term about solutions to help New Yorkers exit and avoid homelessness. This is one of the ways that we are going to meaningfully shift the city's homelessness and housing crisis. There were so many people who played an instrumental role in helping us to get see this legislation to the finish line, and who continue to advocate as the mayor pushes his opposition. Today, I want to thank all of the advocates and impacted individuals who informed and helped us to shape this legislation. We will be hearing from some of these advocates today. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge, at this time, I want to turn it over to Amenta Killo. I want to acknowledge the colleagues in the room because I don't have access to all of you.
And I will actually, thank you, Deputy Speaker Ayala, and I will actually turn it over to Councilmember Stevens to acknowledge the council members that are here with us.
Good morning. I would like to acknowledge Councilmember Williams, Councilmember Lee, Councilmember Ong, Councilmember Osei, Councilmember Ressler, online, Councilmember Ayala, Councilmember Hudson, Councilmember Riley.
Okay. At this time, I would also like to thank the committee staff who worked to prepare this hearing and veto override. Amenta Kilowan, Senior Legislative Counsel, David Romero, Legislative Counsel, Julia Haramis, Unit Head, and finally my staff, Elsie Encarnacion, Chief of Staff. Thank you, and I would like to turn it over to our Senior Counsel, Amenta Kilowan, to call up various advocates to testify before we do the roll call for this hearing.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aminta Kilowan, Senior Counsel to the Committee on General Welfare at the New York City Council. I'm going to be moderating today's hearing and calling on panelists to testify. We are going to have two panelists testify today before we do the roll call for the vote, and those two panelists will be Catherine Trapani and Chris Mann. And if you all can also be sure to complete a witness slip for our records.
I would like to also acknowledge Councilmember Caban.
And just as a reminder, members of the public will have 2 minutes to testify today, 2 minutes. You may begin.
Thank you so much, everybody. My name is Catherine Trapani. I'm the Executive Director at Homeless Services United, a coalition of mission-driven nonprofit service providers dedicated to addressing and ending homelessness. I want to sincerely thank Speaker Adams, Deputy Speaker Ayala, Councilmember Sanchez and Caban for their steadfast leadership on this package of legislation, and also to thank the members of the General Welfare Committee and the staff for allowing me to testify today. On behalf of Homeless Services United and all of our member programs, thank you. Reforming City FEPS to ensure that everyone experiencing homelessness has access to a voucher has been a long-standing goal of our coalition. Similarly, we long sought ways to upstream access to preventive assistance and make vouchers more usable. At a time when homelessness and evictions are at all-time highs in New York, these City FEPS bills are a win-win for the city, saving it up to $730 million per year while making our safety net more comprehensive, compassionate, and humane. The simple fact is that everyone needs a home. It shouldn't matter which shelter system best meets your emergency needs, how many hours you do or don't work, whether you receive disability payments or unemployment, or if you struggle in the margins between public assistance eligibility and being able to afford fair market rent. Everyone who is homeless or at imminent risk of displacement should receive the help that they need to get stable housing. Thank you to the Council for your steadfast commitment to these fiscally responsible bills, which will cut through needless city bureaucracy and connect folks to stable housing. Over the years, the city has created a maze of confusing requirements limiting who can get access to vouchers. The administration will tell you this is because they need to target aid and save city resources, but the truth is, these rules only serve to prolong shelter stays and needlessly plunge people into a cycle of instability and homelessness, which actually costs the city even more money in emergency services and untold human costs. The rate of homelessness in New York City has never been this high. The need to quickly procure so much new shelter so quickly has driven the cost of emergency services through the roof. Hotels are expensive, and we're spending a fortune on them when we could be focusing on providing long-term housing options for those who have been languishing in the system for years, ineligible for city FEPS due to restrictive work, shelter system, and income requirements. With the Council's override of the mayor's veto, that can end. Your actions today deliver a message that this council is putting struggling New Yorkers first. We thank you for taking the long view and making the sound decision to invest in the people and communities that make New York City a great place to live, offering pathways and stability for all. Thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Chris, you can begin.
Good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity to testify to Chair Ayala and the members of the General Welfare Committee. Thank you for this opportunity and for your courageous leadership on expanding access to housing. My name is Chris Mann. I'm the Director of Policy and Advocacy at WIN, the nation's largest provider of shelter and services to families with children experiencing homelessness. We operate 14 shelters and nearly 500 supportive housing units across the 5 boroughs. Currently, 6,200 people call WIN home every night, including approximately 3,500 children. Unfortunately, the thousands of families in WIN shelters are just a fraction of the more than 100,000 people in New York City shelters, including more than 30,000 children. The current homelessness crisis far surpasses anything that the city has ever seen, and we applaud the City Council for taking the bold action necessary to meet the moment, passing the City FEPS package, including Intros 878, 893, 894, and 229. This package of bills represents a paradigm shift away from just managing to actually solving this crisis. Although we're disappointed in the mayor's misguided veto of the legislation, we're proud to have a city council that's willing to stand up for what's right and override it. Housing is a human right, and this package of bills will bring New York City far closer to that ideal than anywhere else in the country. We know that City FEPS works, and expanding access to the voucher means less people experiencing the trauma of homelessness. In the last year, WIN's trained program staff helped move nearly 900 families into permanent housing, and the City FEPS voucher was key to that success. By overriding the mayor's veto, the council's ensuring that approximately 92,000 New Yorkers will avoid homelessness altogether, and thousands more will be able to move out of shelter for good. In addition to being the right thing to do, this package of bills will save the city millions of dollars per year. According to WIN's analysis, the costs to New York City for shelter, medical care, juvenile justice involvement, education, child welfare associated with homelessness are far higher than the costs of providing permanent housing through City FEPS. We estimate that the homeless prevention with City FEPS will result in a net savings of more than $730 million per year. Overriding the mayor's veto will spare thousands of people the trauma of homelessness while saving the city millions of dollars annually. It's the right thing to do from a moral perspective and also sound economic policy. Thank you for your leadership, for your courage, and for listening and taking action on behalf of those whose voices are rarely heard. This is a monumental day in the fight to end homelessness, and we're proud to be here with you as you make history. Thank you.
Thank you to this panel for your
Thank
testimony.
you.
Over now to Deputy Speaker Ayala.
Thank you, Amenta. I would now like to turn it over to the clerk to do the roll call for this vote.
One moment, Madam Chair.
Making sure that you guys can still hear me.
Yes, we can still hear you, Deputy Speaker.
Okay. All right, thank you.
We're going to shift momentarily and call up two other members of the public to testify for 2 minutes, calling up Oksana Mironova and Robert Desir. Also going to call on Murad Awadwe. All right, you may begin.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Thank you so much to the New York City Committee of General Welfare for holding a hearing on the 4 city FEPS bills vetoed by the mayor on June 23rd. My name is Oksana Mironova, and I'm a senior policy analyst at the Community Service Society of New York. And our research has repeatedly shown that these 4 bills are a smart investment for New York City and its people. Fewer evictions and shorter shelter stays improve the life for everyone. That is why we call on the council to override the mayor's veto and ensure that the bills are implemented into law with care and adequate funding. Our recent analysis has shown that the cost of expanding city FEPS vouchers to low-income households facing eviction could cost $8.6 billion over 5 years. In the system as it exists today, the cost of housing, 20% of those same households in the shelter system would be $4 billion. The cost of using rental vouchers to rehouse those households would be $1.5 billion for the same period of 5 years. The net additional increase in cost for using city FEPS as an eviction prevention tools is $3 billion cumulatively over 5 years, or approximately $600 million per year. This would prevent almost 200,000 families from enduring the trauma of evictions and the instability of homelessness. The mayoral administration has argued that the city council's expansion of city FEPS will make it more difficult for existing voucher holders to compete for available apartments in a tight rental market. Our analysis shows that by preventing evictions, an expanded city FEPS program will reduce the number of households entering the system, creating less competition. Other reforms to the program, as included in the council's package of the 4 bills, include the revision of the utility allowance rule, which would make homes available to voucher holders seeking to move out of the shelter system, also reducing competition for units. Shelter savings will go a long way towards defraying the cost of providing eviction prevention vouchers and the additional public money it still costs to keep people housed, as ultimately money well spent by investing in our fellow New Yorkers.
Good morning. Thank you, Speaker Adams, Chair Ayala, Councilmember Sanchez, Councilmember Caban, this committee and the rest of the council for recognizing the potential of City FEPS and for stepping up with solutions to address the homelessness and housing affordability crisis. My name is Robert Desir. I am a staff attorney with the Legal Aid Society Civil Law Reform Unit. We're grateful to the council for moving forward with this important package of bills that will improve the City FEPS voucher program and increase its effectiveness as an anti-homelessness program. More than ever, it's critical that people are able to leave shelter. There are over 90,000 currently in shelter. It's mainly because their incomes are not keeping pace with rising housing costs and other expenses. It's also important that those at risk of eviction are able to avoid shelter. New Yorkers experiencing rent burden should not have to wait until they lose their homes before they can access a voucher. They already have an apartment. The eviction will only add to the number of people that are seeking an apartment on the open market. When these bills are passed into law, we urge the city to recognize the utility of this legislation and take action to ensure that it achieves its goals. There remains work to do before City FEPS can realize its full potential. The city has to attack the delays associated with City FEPS. Voucher holders should not have to navigate a Byzantine lease-up process where weeks or months of delays often leads to loss of housing opportunity. Delays only compound the collateral effects of homelessness, such as joblessness, mental health challenges, family instability, and poor living conditions. The city must respond by increasing staff that's adequately trained to efficiently process and complete applications, staff that takes a solution-oriented approach. This involves comprehensive initial review of application, improved proactive communication with stakeholders like shelter providers, setting and adhering to deadlines, expediting inspections, avoiding unnecessary document information requests, making timely payments to owners. Unless HRA adopts affirmative regulations to change the lease-up process, City FEPS will not serve its purpose of allowing New Yorkers to escape the shelter system and live in homes with dignity. We also urge the city to commit to enforcing source of income discrimination. The incident of source of income discrimination is a large part of what is holding people back from being able to access permanent housing. The city has to devote resources to proactive measures of enforcement, early intervention, and other actions that will help stomp out this practice. We also urge HRA to adopt the exception payment standard, which would increase the payment standard for City FEPS vouchers and put them on par with NYCHA Section 8 and HPD Section 8, and allow voucher holders to access neighborhoods of opportunity. Again, I thank the council for its work in this regard, remaining steadfast in the face of opposition, and its commitment to New Yorkers that are in shelter and are housing unstable. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. At this time, we're going to shift over now to call the roll. I'm going to turn it over to Deputy Speaker Ayala.
Thank you, Amenta, and thank you to all of the providers that came to testify this morning, and for being, such extraordinary leaders on these issues. Before the clerk pulls the roll, however, I forgot to just clarify that the questions before the committee are whether to readopt the bill's introduction numbers 292A, 894A, 878A, 893A, and to file the mayor's veto messages. I will turn it back over to the clerk.
Thank you. William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on General Welfare. All items are coupled. Chair Ayala.
I vote aye.
Wrestler.
The solution to homelessness is housing. I am deeply proud and honored to be a part of this council today as we advance real solutions to homelessness by expanding access to affordable housing. Thank you to the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Councilmember Caban, and Councilmember Sanchez for your leadership.
Thank you. Riley.
Aye.
Caban.
Proudly vote aye.
Hudson.
Aye.
Thank you. Lee.
Aye on all.
Osei.
An emphatic aye on all.
Stevens.
Aye on all.
Ung,
I don't know.
Williams.
I don't know.
By a vote of 10 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, and no abstentions, all items have been adopted as indicated by the chair. Madam Chair, that is a full committee.
Thank you. And with that, this vote is adjourned.
Oh, no, Councilmember Ayala.
One moment.
We're going to now move on to additional public testimony.
Sorry about that.
No worries, Deputy Speaker. I appreciate you and your leadership in this moment. Good morning. My name is Murad Ouada. I'm the Executive Director of the New York Immigration Coalition. I am proudly here to congratulate you on moving forward this agenda of putting forward New Yorkers in this moment that we see an increase in affordability crisis, an increase in housing crisis. New York's #1 asset is its people. And when we invest in our people, across the board, the rate of return is tenfold. I want to thank the New York City Council for prioritizing this first step in actually addressing our homelessness problem that we are seeing. Without the support of the council and these 4 bills that will be moved and hopefully voted, instated today and overriding the veto, we will actually be removing hurdles and expanding eligibility for those who need City FEPS the most. This administration's emergency footing has ultimately exacerbated the load on already overburdened shelter systems and has left shelter residents with few pathways to get out of the system. New Yorkers, all New Yorkers, deserve permanent housing, not more temporary shelters or HERCs. By relieving pressure on our shelter system, we anticipate a reduction in the use of the costly emergency expanded shelter system as well as HERCs, which are often located in neighborhoods with poor access to transportation, essential services, and don't always have basic amenities like showers and proper access to bathrooms. I again thank the New York City Council for this vote today, and I look forward to seeing more expansive steps taken to ensure that all unhoused individuals in the City of New York have access to supports like City FEPS vouchers and other supports to get them into housing and keep them in permanent housing. If the City Council's plan is cost effective and the right thing to do to ensure the health and dignity of all New Yorkers. Thank you.
Thank you, Murad, and thank you to this panel for your testimony. I'm now going to call on our next panel, which will be Deborah Berkman, Jamie Polovich, and Nicole McVinua. And before this panel testifies, I'd like to call on Councilmember Sanchez to deliver brief remarks.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to read into the General Welfare Committee's record just a tremendous thank you to Deputy Speaker Ayala, Speaker Adams, all of my colleagues who today voted in the affirmative on behalf of these bills that are really going to make a difference for New Yorkers. The City FEPS legislation that is voted out of committee today and that is going to be voted on at the stated meeting this afternoon is long overdue after nearly a year of inaction by the administration, despite repeated calls for action by this City Council. And I can speak from my own personal experience asking for feedback and reaching out to the administration through our committee council that we did not hear feedback until there was decisive action by our speaker to move the legislation forward. So thank you to our speaker for doing this. You know, the scale of the crisis is known and it is growing. It continues to grow. Last month, New York City reported more than 100,000 people housed in our shelters, which is a record number. And the important thing here is that of these 100,000 people, a record number, 50,000 are long-term New Yorkers who were unhoused, and the number has been continuing to grow. In addition to that, I am the chair of the Committee on Housing and Buildings, which is about to vote next door on different legislation. I am the representative for District 14 and the sponsor for two of the bills that are being voted on today. But the most important piece is being the representative of District 14, the epicenter of the eviction crisis in our city of New York, with 10468 leading the city. We have an additional 100,000 households who are facing eviction in our courts right now. So we are taking decisive action as a city council, and I could not be more proud to work with all of you, with all of our advocates here today: Homeless Services United, WIN, Make the Road, Legal Aid, Vocal, New Destiny Housing, New York Immigration Coalition, and so many others. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Councilmember Sanchez. And now I'll turn it over to the panel for your testimony. Your mic would have to.
Okay. Deputy Speaker Ayala, council members, and staff, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Deborah Berkman, and I'm the founder of the Shelter Advocacy Initiative and the supervising attorney of the Public Assistance and SNAP practice at New York Legal Assistance Group, or NYLAG. I want to very much thank this committee for bringing this legislation to a vote today again. I work with numerous individuals and families experiencing homelessness and near homelessness who are trying to access rental subsidies, as it is the only way they can transition to and remain in permanent housing. From that experience, I know that all of the legislation that is here today is so vitally important to mitigate homelessness. The city cannot maintain a system where more people need to reside in the shelter system just to obtain private housing. As Deputy Speaker mentioned, it's not an overstatement to say that the shelter system is in crisis, and 1 week this past June, there were over 100,000 people in there. Allowing more people to access rent assistance subsidies without a shelter stay will prevent senseless evictions and new entries into the shelter system, thus increasing the system's capacity. People at risk of experiencing homelessness should always have been and should be eligible for rental subsidies. Households are being evicted from stable and affordable apartments because there aren't enough programs available that help them maintain their housing. When they're not eligible for a rental assistance program to prevent evictions, they must enter shelter, where they may languish for years. For example, in city fiscal year 2022, the average length of stay in a DHS shelter system was 509 days for single adults, 534 days for families with children, and 855 days for adult families. This often trauma-inducing experience could be avoided by making rental subsidies available to more households in the community to preserve their homes. Next, source of income or employment status should not be an eligibility factor in rental subsidies. Not only will Intro 894A create a space in an overburdened shelter system, it will expand the expanded access to rental subsidies will provide stability to individuals and families experiencing homelessness. And finally, we strongly support Intro 229A that increases the amount mandates that a utility allowance shouldn't be deducted from a rental allowance, and that a tenant contribution should be reduced when the rent is below the maximum rental allowance. This is very important legislation that will effectively increase the amount of rental assistance provided, which is sorely needed to assist people experiencing homelessness to transition to permanent housing. Thank you very much for your vital work on this topic.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Pilovich. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the executive director of the New York State Coalition for Homeless Youth. CHY has advocated for the needs of runaway and homeless youth for 45 years and has a statewide membership, including 29 members here in New York City. I would like to start off by expressing our deepest thanks to Speaker Adams, Deputy Speaker Ayala, and all of the members who sponsored and supported these bills, which we support wholeheartedly. This is truly a historic moment that will have extraordinary impact for all of the reasons that have already been expressed by my colleagues. But I would like to expand on what overriding the veto of these bills will mean for young people experiencing homelessness in the DYCD youth homelessness system. In addition to expanding access to those facing eviction and reducing wait times to qualify for those in DHS and DV shelters, these bills will also, for the first time, make homeless youth and young adults in the DYCD system categorically eligible for City FEPS vouchers, which is truly amazing. With this vote, the council will make right all of the broken promises that young people have been made by past administrations and follow through with a fight that was started by the late Councilman Lou Fidler and carried on by former Councilman Steve Levin. Homelessness is not an acronym or a trauma quota that those with privilege and power should get to decide when is met. Homelessness is an experience that since being initially promised vouchers in 2016, almost 10,000 young people have had to endure because they were not given the support they needed to exit. Since being given access to time-limited federal emergency housing vouchers in 2021, available data shows that there has been a 350% increase in the amount of youth that have successfully exited DYCD shelters into their own apartments. We know how to solve youth homelessness. It is a policy choice that it persists. And by voting yes today, all council members are actively choosing to work towards the solution. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Ayala and members of the committee. My name is Nicole McVinue, and I am the Director of Policy at Urban Pathways, a nonprofit homeless services and supportive housing provider serving over 2,000 single adults annually. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today in support of the City FEPS bill package. We fully support the passage of this bill package. Housing subsidies are a critical tool to create access to apartment rentals in the private market for low-income New Yorkers. The changes to the City FEPS program made by these 4 bills will strengthen the subsidy to both make it more usable to obtain permanent housing for people currently experiencing homelessness and to prevent households from losing their housing in the first place. These are critical changes for promoting the efficacy of the City FEPS voucher program by providing access to more rentals on the market, removing barriers that keep people in shelter for longer without reason, and preventing unnecessary evictions. Reaching more New Yorkers in need of housing assistance must be prioritized, and the current housing affordability and homelessness crisis faced by our communities at a time when 50% of working-age households across the city do not make enough to cover their basic needs. The city must move away from ideologies that we need to make people wait to receive assistance to ensure that they really need it, and that there will be competition between households whose homelessness is being prevented and those in shelter. It's simply not true. Expanding the City FEPS program will cost money up front. However, the cost of sheltering people is far more expensive and comes with long-term costs across systems well beyond the cost of shelter itself. WIN's recently released report demonstrates that preventing homelessness will have significant cost savings to the city. Across the system, it's estimated that expanding the voucher to prevent eviction will result in annual savings of over $730 million. I have more details in my written testimony, but want to conclude by thanking the Council for your support of the City FEPS package and your commitment to ensuring all New Yorkers have permanent, stable housing. Thank you.
Thank you to this panel for your testimony. I'm now going to call on our last public panel for today, and that will be comprised of Scott Andrew Hutchins, Ethel Brown, and Patrick Boyle. And just as a reminder, you all have 2 minutes to deliver your testimony, and we will, of course, accept all written testimony, however long it may be. You may begin when ready.
Good morning. My name is Patrick Boyle, and I'm Senior Director for the New York Office of Enterprise Community Partners, a national nonprofit that exists to make a good home possible for the millions of families without one. We support community development organizations on the ground, aggregate and invest capital for impact, advanced housing policy at every level of government, and build and manage communities ourselves. We are also members and co-conveners of the Family Homelessness Coalition. On behalf of Enterprise, I want to thank Chair Ayala and the Committee on General Welfare and the full Council for the opportunity to submit testimony at this important hearing today. As we all know, homelessness, housing insecurity, and a scarcity of affordable housing is one of the central issues facing our city today. The solution is multifaceted, including greatly increasing the supply of new homes, preserving our existing stock, stabilizing tenants, and streamlining government processes. It will require all levels of government, robust funding of new and existing resources, and creative solutions from both the private and public sectors. The package of bills advanced and passed by this council would strengthen one tool in the city's toolbox, the City FEPS voucher, and we support the council's moving forward with this package. This legislative package will alleviate pressure on the shelter system by steering fewer families into the shelter system unnecessarily. It will lessen the burden on housing court system by providing a more upstream solution to eviction prevention. It will ensure fewer families fall through the cracks and find themselves unable to access this assistance. In short, it's not the full solution to the housing crisis, but it is a powerful step in the right direction. Enterprise thanks the council for this bold and meaningful action today. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. You may begin. Ethel.
Thank you. And I'm a leader with Safety Net Activists. I'm also a City FEPS voucher holder. I live with my daughter and 2 grandkids in the Bronx. I was unhoused, and now we're housed thanks to receiving the City FEPS voucher. I've lived in the Bronx for most of my life, and I have 2 degrees. I'm now involved as an advocate who's trying to make sure that City FEPS voucher is accessible to everyone who needs it. Unfortunately, last year, my family was facing eviction, and I had to leave where we were forced to leave. City FEPS helped my family avoid going into the shelter system. Because we had a shelter history, we were able to get help from City FEPS. The voucher really helped us once we had the right people doing what was needed to be done in order to get the paperwork rolling. But I want other people to not go through the housing mill and go into the shelter system. It's really hard out there right now. People are facing eviction and need this help. All of the 4 sponsored bills, Intro 878, Intro 893, Intro 894, and Intro 229 are critical to helping people avoid homelessness and helping homeless New Yorkers get housing. People shouldn't have to go into the shelter in order to get help. Going into shelter causes so much trauma. It is so difficult. It splits up families. I know that personally. Path split up my family when we had to go there for help. The 90-day rule also has to be ended permanently. It keeps people stagnant and keeps them from moving forward. It makes no sense. And it shouldn't matter what type of homeless shelter system that you are in. You are still homeless. People in DV shelters, homeless youth, 5 victims of HPD shelters, and people facing vacant orders all should have access to City FEPS vouchers. It's also so important to make sure that people who are working as well as those who are not working have access to the voucher. This is very important, and I appeal to Mayor Adams to make sure he implement all of these bills. And thank you to all of you who allowed us to speak here today.
Good morning. Thank you for these bills. I'm Scott Andrew Hutchins. I represent Vocal and Neighbors Together and Picture the Homeless and other organizations. I currently have a City FEPS voucher, and I really appreciate what you're doing. It is, I would definitely say it's a first step. I became homeless in 2012, going through a long eviction process in 2011. I have a master's degree, a herniated disc, and various other health challenges, and Social Security says that I'm not disabled because I can do desk work. So I spent 8 years in the shelter system before I was able to get housing on the City FEPS voucher, and now I'm dealing with challenges because of how much money the landlord keeps asking for more money, like in terms of the utility bill. So I'm trying to deal with that because it's coming out to be like more than half of my income as it is. So City FEPS as it is not perfect, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, and we need to work hard, especially on this utility issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you to this entire panel for your testimony. I am now going to turn it back over to Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala.
And I want to thank all of the panelists for coming again to testify today, really telling just how many individuals have reached out and really supported this package of legislation and really spoken to the need for change. And so I'm really proud of this package. I'm really proud of my colleagues, and want to thank the speaker for supporting us in this endeavor and allowing this package up for a vote. And with that, this hearing is concluded.
And I will actually turn it now over to Councilmember Marina Sanchez to close us out.
Thank you so much, Deputy Speaker. Thanks to everybody who testified. And with that, this hearing is adjourned.